Hi, and welcome to the first ever devlog or project update of Mythic Folio. So, what is Mythic Folio? Mythic Folio is kind of a small hobby project, a side project of mine. I'm working on it in the evenings and at the weekend, and it's a small experience for fans and enthusiasts of collectible card games. In this case, digital collectible card games. And in this video, I want to take you a bit on a journey how I actually started this project, how the first idea was, so to say, born, and how I moved from an idea to some experiments to a first POC, and then also, to the current MVP and where the current state is. All right. Oh, 1 second. So, as I already said, Mythic Folio is a unique digital experience for fans of TCGs, CCGs. It's mainly evolving around collecting cards and at some point also trading cards. It's not really about the playing, or right now it's really focused on the collecting of kind of very unique cards, and I'm getting more into that later. But yeah, let's maybe have a look at how this actually all started before I actually come to the actual project and how it's currently doing, so to say. Yeah, I actually started this quite a while ago, or not really a while, but not recently, not very recently. As you can see, I already worked on it in September. Like the very first POC, the first experiments, I guess even earlier than September, or the mid-September. And you can already see kind of my enthusiasm about generative AI here, and especially generative art, using something like Midjourney or DALL-E, as well as GPT, to actually generate these kind of collectible cards. So that is the main goal, or the main theme how this project started. And of course, I don't want to play the video here in this small window. Let's have a brief look at this. I think it's the first video I posted about this on Twitter, on x.com. And it's already showing more or less, I think, even almost the current style of the cards. I changed it up a bit. And you can already see it contains even holo effects and stuff. Maybe just as a side note, and I will most likely have a separate video on this as well very soon. I built all of this actually also using GPT and Copilot, GitHub Copilot and ChatGPT. Not very well versed in the CSS area and HTML frameworks. I do this from time to time, but actually the modern tools, if you have a development background, can get you quite far, to be honest. But yeah, so jumping back to how this actually all started, and maybe going briefly into how actually the first idea came up, and the vision, and maybe the first spark kind of happened, right? So at some point I was checking out these different generative art tools that we have, like Midjourney, Stable Unstable Diffusion, DALL-E, and so on. And this is where I also try to experiment a bit with fantasy art, which of course is quite common on several collectible card games, tradable card games. And to be honest, the art style that came out of some of the prompts that I used were quite surprisingly good, to be honest, and something I thought, hey, this can be used it's something when I create cards for that. Of course, it's not all about the art itself. Also, the card itself should have like kind of a background story, like a flavor text, some kind of attributes, or maybe a power and something on it. And so it should not be only about the art generation, but it's kind of one of the centerpieces. It's a core part of the experience, that art is generated automatically, but also that cards as well as card themes and sets are generated as well automatically. And I will go into that a bit later as well when I come to the the actual MVP. So what was the transition? As you can see here, I did some experiments and got some nice artwork, right? Maybe as you can see here on the left side, that was kind of hilarious. I guess this is one of the first steps when I tried to actually work on the CSS for the cards. And as I said, this was also mainly using ChatGPT and trial and error. I'm not the biggest expert in CSS and HTML. I know my ways around, and once I have the base set, I can of course modify a lot of stuff myself and know how to look up stuff and so on. But the general idea was really to use GPT and to use something like Copilot as well to build the project. And as said, I think it deserves an own video on it, how I now also worked on the backend and front end using GPT and Copilot. So, but you can already see here the transition from the very first styles on the left side to an actual different card, like kind of the end of the POC was actually this 4x4 grid where I just tried out different card styles, right? So I had a borderless art card, a bordered art card, one with a holographic effect, and the other one as well. Kind of already such a rainbow foil effect, which I actually extended towards kind of a normal foil or cold foil effect, maybe normal foil, and then also additionally a holofoil. But all of that I can bring up later again when it comes to the actual card styles. But yeah, this was kind of where the POC ended, and then to be honest, I kind of stopped for a while. Why is that? My main issue was I knew how to generate the cards and the themes and so on with GPT on the fly. Like there's an API. If you look at OpenAI APIs, right, they can all be used. But I work with Midjourney to generate the art, and this is kind of where my initial enthusiasm actually stopped, because Midjourney still has, I think to the day, no official API support. And it's only available using Discord and stuff. So there are some platforms that actually try to expose an API, and behind, I guess, there runs a Discord bot that then runs Midjourney. But to be honest, these are very expensive and not really reliable, and something I just didn't want to try out and use. So I kind of stopped with the project before actually heading into any kind of backend development or using OpenAI APIs. And so I was passively looking into some additional options, how I can actually generate the arts, because this was my main breaking point. Without the art generation, the project would not make a lot of sense. So at some point, I was actually looking closer onto DALL-E 3 and the OpenAI APIs as well, like the sandbox, and I discovered the DALL-E APIs. And initially I was not really impressed, but I mainly used DALL-E 2, and I didn't know in the beginning DALL-E 2 is a huge gap to DALL-E 3. And of course there's also a lot that goes into the prompt engineering and some system messages and so on before you actually get better results. So everything now on Mythic Folio that you see in terms of arts is generated by the current DALL-E 3 version, with some nice prompt engineering behind it. And I'm quite happy. I'm using mainly the standard quality, but there's also an HD quality available. It's a bit more expensive, but might make sense depending on the pricing of OpenAI APIs at some point, maybe to switch this as well, or maybe have special cards that could be generated with HD and the other ones are generated with standard. But yeah, so that's the current state of how I went with the image generation. And at that point, when I actually found out, I was really, again, very positive about working on it. This is the point where I actually started investing into building a backend. Right now, as I used Python to actually do the OpenAI stuff, I just went with Flask and Python. So I'm more like a, in the recent years, I was more used to Golang to be used for the backend development, and I'm still hesitating, thinking about actually moving my main code to Golang at some point in the near future. Maybe keeping some of the cron jobs in Python. Let's see. But for now, I'm still remaining in Python until at least some certain level of usage, or also the features I'm currently envisioning is done. So there's no much sense in switching around right now. But let's maybe actually jump from the POC to the MVP and have a look how currently the status of Mythic Folio. So maybe going back again, how does Mythic Folio actually work? General idea again is a unique digital experience for TCG enthusiasts. And the main point is about collecting cards, opening boosters, looking at card collections from other users, your own card collection, from different sets that have been generated. And right now, every day there is a complete new set generated. It's based on either the day, maybe there's a special event on the day, based on the year, the season, the month. So all of this is taken into consideration into the prompt to actually generate a daily theme. The prompt actually also takes into account old themes, like the ones that have been generated in the past 5 or 10 days. I might expand this window. Now that I have more sets available, I might expand it. And this is to prevent the LLM to actually come up all the time with the same set. When I started around Thanksgiving, I got like almost every day a Thanksgiving themed or like a harvest set, harvest festival sets. And this is why I thought, hey, I have to do something about it. I need to take the old sets into consideration as well when I generate new ones. And it worked surprisingly well. I think right now there is a general trend that in a month there might be a few similar sets, but overall it's looking quite good, and I'm looking forward in the coming weeks and months to see the daily sets. Additionally to the daily sets, there will be weekly sets as well with weekly boosters, and I will go into that in a second. So what's the core experience? You go in on a daily basis, you can claim your booster, you can open it, you get the card and the coin, and so on. And as you can see here, the main idea is also around trading at some point. This is not yet there. All right, so that's, now that we covered maybe the general idea, and really just to emphasize this again, this is completely generated by GenAI. There's no manual labor right now. Every day at midnight, a theme is generated with some prompts. Then for each theme, I think we generate around 10 cards. We don't generate the art. That's actually done when you claim the booster. Also to prevent, of course, costs, but also doesn't make sense to do that if it's never opened, right? So once the card is generated, there's some attributes on the card as well. And there's also a prompt generated, but then actually there's an additional step when the card is generated that enhances the card prompt by using or taking the card properties into consideration. So there's a second iteration also again with GPT-4 that enhances the current prompt. This is then actually the input for DALL-E plus some additional commands as well for the artwork generation. Let's look at the current MVP, what's in it. So if you right now go to mythicfolio.com, you can browse it without logging in, or you can log in. If you browse it without logging in, you can look at the daily theme, you can look at a random theme or on all sets. You can look at the top users and top cards, basically, right? And just browse around. But if you log in, you get access to your collection, and you get access to the claiming, to the area of where you can claim a booster. And right now, as said, you can claim a booster once a day. The booster resets at 12:00 a.m. midnight Berlin time zone, so German time zone right now. It starts generating a new set. If I just look at the clock, it's probably now starting a new set very soon. So daily boosters, if you open them, get one card. This could be completely randomized. The art, of course, is based on the daily theme. And we try, of course, that there's no duplicates, or not as many duplicates. The card could have different styles, as you've seen in the POC. Right now there is borderless and bordered styles. It's only just one color, like the red color right now, but this is also going to be updated, so additional card styles is something I certainly want to work on in the near future. And yeah, you have the ones with a foil effect and the ones without. And the ones with foil effect, there's also a chance for it to be in kind of a rainbow foil, which is a kind of a color gradient effect. If you mouse over, or if you, for example, watch it on a mobile, you can also wobble with the mobile device, and it's taking the gyroscope into consideration to actually move the card. Or if you have the mouse, you can move it over and it wobbles. You will see that if you look at the actual site. So cards can have different styles, and for sure we will expand on these cards in the future. If you look at the site, as said, you can look at the collection, you look at sets, you can open a random set, and on each set you see all the cards that have been claimed so far, that have been opened, where also an art is generated. There might be still cards in a set that are unclaimed, that have not been opened or discovered yet, and there's also no art for them. So if you come in later in the day, you still get a chance, for example, to open the first card into the set if no one else collected this yet. If you create a new booster, you might get the first card in the set as well. And there might be gaps between the card numbers as well, if there are unclaimed cards in the set. I have some ideas back in my mind how to actually use them later on, but that's maybe something for another video. Hall of Fame is kind of something where we right now show the top rated cards. And maybe just to highlight, the coins you get are supposed to be used for several things. You can use them to vote on cards right now. You can use them also to add to a trade later on. But you can also use them to get some other boosters at some point. And just to bring this up, I think I haven't said this yet, there is no plan right now to monetize any of these coins or stuff. There are certain costs, of course, involved with running this. Right now it's kind of an experiment. I just want to run it. At some point, depending on how many users are on the site and how many cards are opened each day, there might be some costs where I have to check how we can maybe solve this. But right now there's like no, I don't know, real money spent on creating any of these cards. Alright, so Hall of Fame, as said, most valuable cards, top rated cards, and the highest community voters. So if you vote on the card and spend coins, you actually also rank higher in this community list. Special art cards, something nice. It's also just a recent addition in the last days. There's a 1 in 5 chance that actually the daily or weekly boosters are enhanced with a special art style. These art styles are something I'm trying out currently by hand, and I will add over time. Right now there's a 1 in 5 chance that a special art flag is overall added to a card, or sorry, to a theme. Then all cards from the theme will have the same special art style. This is the nice thing. So there might be a complete pixel art style, or like a Minecraft art style, or Disney princess art style, something like that, right? Could be crazy. Let's see, or Van Gogh or something. And I might expand them. So there's a 1 in 5 chance that this special art is flagged. And then there's like a list of 10, 20 art styles right now. I would pick randomly from it for the theme. So this is a really kind of a scarcity thing, that there are actually special art style cards out there. And especially if you're looking for a very specific art style, they might be even more scarce. All right, vision and next iterations. So what's coming very soon is most likely the weekly boosters. Currently already in the works. Worked on this yesterday in the evening, so this is quite far on a local version, and I might be able to push this maybe at the weekend or something like that, latest. The idea is right now that The daily boosters are free. You just can claim one booster a week. A day. You can open it. The weekly boosters you have to buy with 10 gold right now. And why is that? You need some kind of incentive. Actually, how gold is valuable, right? You get 1 to 3 coins, and you can either vote or you can use them to offer in a trade later on for other cards. And yeah, and of course you can then also use them to buy the booster, the weekly booster. So right now, how do we make them valuable? The idea is that suppose you can either buy the weekly booster or you can also earn one by being the top voter in the community. If you spend coins on voting on cards, you will rank up. And whoever is rank 1 right now, let's see, depending on the amount of users there are, whoever is top place in this ranking for community voters will also receive a daily booster, maybe 2, I'm not sure yet. So there is an incentive that you either just save your coins to buy directly a booster, or for example, if you have a few coins left, maybe you just save 10, then you can buy a booster, and maybe the additional ones you spend actually at voting cards, so you rank up. And for example, if you're already at place 1, you might be able to just try to stay at your first position and get an additional booster for that. But there might be other ones that try to maybe overtake you by voting more. The idea is, of course, you should not just vote random cards. You should spend the coins at cards you like. Either maybe it's a cool card like a name, maybe a nice creature type you like, maybe the flavor text is cool, or of course most of the reasons would be it's just an awesome artwork or it's an awesome card style to look at. So that's the main point why you should vote one. And I'm not sure about the how we can incentivize being like the owner of the most valuable cards. Right now it's just the Hall of Fame, so you would be at the top of the list, but only the community voters would get additional weekly boosters based on their votes. So let's see. There might also need to be some incentives to be an owner of the most valuable cards at some point. Trading system is one big system missing right now, and the idea is that you can actually make offers for any cards you can see. So just as an example, you like a special day set, like I don't know, there could be the 12 Tidings of Joy or any other set generated, and you like either maybe the art style, the special art style, or you just like the theme, and you might want to own all cards of this theme yourself. So you can try actually making offers to the users who own them, trying to capture the whole set. And maybe there is like a special bonus if you actually own a complete set. It's not yet there yet, but that's something I'm thinking about. So stuff like that I would introduce. Right now, the trading system, of course, is still missing. The weekly boosters is something that was easily to be added. The trading system might take a bit more time, but I'm certainly sure something like end of December, early next year, I would say I'll get the trading system in. And I think at that point, and this is like the more to come, once the trading system is actually completed, I think there is more community interaction. Then people can start trading cards. Like they might want to own the most valuable, the most highest rated cards and start offering them more. People might try to actually be at the top of the voters, so they get additional boosters, stuff like that. Yeah, really many more ideas, especially around card designs, around special themes. Thinking about having even maybe either community voted or manually added boosters or themes, cards and boosters at some point, which would not be part of the weekly or daily versions, but could maybe be introduced using something like an auction system, where people could do something like a blind auction and try to get these. So let's see, there's more ideas, and for now, maybe I keep these for future updates. And yeah, So I hope you liked this overview of like the first introduction to Mythic Folio. What's next? Just check out mythicfolio.com. If you go on the site, you can of course see what I talked about. You can experience it, and for sure I will now also create a second follow-up video which gives you a tour around the current MVP, the current state, what you can do, how you claim boosters, how you can look at cards and so on. And then I will of course put maybe a few more videos out about new features, like for example weekly boosters. I might, once they are complete, I might record a short video on this as well. And also for future developments. Similar, I might want to introduce some more videos around how this thing is actually being developed. As I said, I'm mainly making use of Copilot and ChatGPT actually to build this thing as well. I'm not the most experienced Python developer, so this is, but it's still very efficient for me to build it using these tools. So I have, of course, background in many other languages and yeah, kind of multiple decades of things that I built. So I'm not a novice level, but still could just grab any kind of AI coding tool right now and it can enhance your coding skills up to the point where you can build something like that. And as said, I might want to do some more videos in this direction in the future. With that, again, thank you for watching this. Hope you liked it, and I hope to see you in the next video where I give you a tour on the current state of the MVP. Thank you.